What is an OSINT analyst or open source intelligence analyst? In this video, you're going to learn about the open source intelligence or OSINT for short analyst job role in the cybersecurity world. This is kind of one of those hidden jobs, so to speak, that a lot of people don't think about and a lot of colleges or other programs don't speak about because they just don't know about it usually of this particular role. And you might see it listed as different job titles, and we'll talk about that in this particular video. So you're going to learn a general overview of this job. We'll talk about, as I mentioned, job titles, responsibilities you might be doing, the average salary you can expect for UK, US, and India, and then different tools you might be using, as well as do you need college degrees and all that good stuff for this particular role. So this role as an open source intelligence analyst, essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to gather and analyze and then also report on information from publicly available sources. So things like the general internet, social media, and that's actually a really good resource. Different public records, so it might be like WHOIS and other DNS databases, and just other sources of information that are out there. And there's a ton of information out there, so you're that person that aggregates all that and then tries to make any sense of that. And why would you do that? Well, the main reason is to try to identify potential threats or vulnerabilities against the organization that you're working for. And in some cases, you may see someone working as an OSINT analyst doing competitive analysis for business, so competitive intelligence for different businesses. But that's a pretty rare use case. Usually it's focused more on the cybersecurity realm where we're looking at especially identifying potential threats and identifying potential vulnerabilities for the organization. So there's a number of different job titles you might see out there. Kind of the three main ones you might see it grouped into besides OSINT analyst are going to be intelligence analyst. And so that might be listed as OSINT or HUMINT, which is human intelligence, or SIGINT, or signals intelligence. So it might be a variety of things, but if you look up intelligence analyst on job boards, that should pull up a lot of these roles that are looking for OSINT skills. Also, social media analyst, I've seen that one out there as well. And then in some cases, they may list it as a threat intel analyst, but really you're just working with OSINT. But typically, like a threat intelligence analyst, you're going to be working with more sources of information than just open source intelligence. So sometimes it's mislabeled, at least in my opinion, as a threat intel analyst when they're really looking for just an OSINT analyst. So again, that's where searching for these job titles and looking for the skill sets in there can help you quite a bit to see what are they actually looking for me to do in this role. So speaking of what do, the job responsibilities, as I mentioned, you're going to be collecting and analyzing that information from those open source places, right? So the publicly available information, again, social media, online forums, public records, records on finding addresses, things like that. Some of the kind of the careers you might be working in or things you might be doing as well is you may be involved in like human trafficking investigations, depending on where you work at, or missing persons investigations. And you can also do volunteer work and doing that once you build up your OSINT skills as well, if that's an area that interests you. One of the other things you'll be doing as part of that gathering and analyzing the information is actually looking at the credibility of that information. Is it reliable? Is it from a reliable source? Or is it maybe disinformation where a threat actor is pushing out a lot of stuff on social media through some bots to try to make you think that they're going to attack you a certain way, maybe they're going to attack you a different way. So that does happen in some cases. So you're the person that would be behind trying to figure out, is this actually credible information that would lead to us thinking there's a credible threat to the organization. You'll be doing research, you'll be monitoring social media, and then again, all that information you're going to be reporting off to somebody. Could be your senior leadership, or could be just your manager, to let them know like what are the actual threats. Could be the threat hunting team, could be the threat intel team, just a variety of places that might be using the information that you're actually gathering and analyzing. So it sounds like you're going to be doing some work. What are you going to be making? Well, here in the US, you can expect around $55,000 on the very low range. It's usually around $70,000 or more, and then all the way up into the six figures, and that's usually as you move up to the more managerial types of levels or the team lead type of levels. In the UK, you can look at about 25,000 to 70,000 pounds, and then in India, around $250,000 to 1.2 million Indian rupees. Now, there's a variety of tools you're going to be using, not so much hard technical tools, but there are some. So search engines, of course, social media monitoring tools. So like Social Mention is one that you might be using. Hootsuite's another one. Web scraping tools like Scrapey, Beautiful Soup is another one. Import.io is another one off the top of my head. Data visualization tools, so like Tableau is one. Multego is a very popular one you'll be using in this role. So that's essentially for data mining and then kind of linking things together. So let's say you are looking for me, you find one email, and then from there you might be able to find multiple emails with Multego. It essentially just kind of maps out the person or the people and shows you potential relationships. And then from there you kind of dig in more, and then it just builds a really nice map. It's a really cool tool to play around with if you ever decide to go do it. And then different domain tools like your Whois or DNS lookup, things like that, SSL checkers. Just really trying to figure out like who owns maybe this website, who's registered as a domain person, and what kind of security is in place on this. And then also different tools like email header analysis tools, just to figure out like who actually sent this, right? And some tools are like MX Toolbox or Email Header Analyzer, as well as other tools have that capability built in. What about college degrees and all that good stuff? Well, you don't need any of that stuff. You don't even need certifications to do this. It's just more about getting really good at digging into what you find online. And you could take some different courses. There are some out there. There's some other free events that are out there as well around OSINT. And it's really just about getting the skill set and being able to show that you can dig into things and identify a potential threat to that or potential vulnerability, and then relaying that across social media and stuff like that. So on your resume and on social media, people can see your value to the organization. As far as certifications, though, if you do decide to get them, there are a few out there. There's a Certified OSINT Professional, or COSP. That would just kind of validate your knowledge, around OSINT and the general information collection and analysis and information dissemination, so the reporting side of things. There's also the SMIA, which is the Social Media Intelligence Analyst. Again, just kind of teaches you the basics of collecting and analyzing information, and specifically from social media platforms. And then you have the Cyber Intelligence Professional Certification, and this kind of just validates your skill set and knowledge around identifying and analyzing different cybersecurity threats. So again, certs are not required, college degree is not required for this role, but you do need to have the hands-on skills, and you can get that for free just by digging around a little bit online. If you like this video, let us know in the comments below, and also like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments below any questions you have around cybersecurity careers or cybersecurity in general, because we have a number of videos coming out on this channel that are not just around getting a cybersecurity career. So if you want to learn about cybersecurity, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we will share our videos with you. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.